Good morning, and we are live. I am so glad to see you folks. I hope your Sunday is as beautiful as mine. It is just sunshiny and nice breeze, not too hot. Man, I hope your Sunday is going as well as mine. Let's dig into it. We got a lot to talk about, folks. Let's talk about it. Oh, good morning. I hope your coffee's as good as mine. I hope it's better. I really do hope it's better. I hope as good as my coffee is, that yours is even better. I really do. We need just to hold on to some things that are just basic good things in life, because I tell you, Republicans are doing their damnedest to fill our life with shit. Here's to you folks. Oh man, that gets me up in the morning. That keeps me going. That keeps me going. Just the little things in life, just keeps you going. I bet you didn't know. Let's dig into it. I bet you didn't know last night was the White House Correspondents' Dinner. We just had a White House Correspondents' Dinner. I bet you didn't even know. Didn't get covered. And the reason it didn't get covered is because of cowardice. Not a lot of people showed up. You didn't get the stars that showed up. And more importantly, the president usually attends the White House Correspondents Association dinner. They have a little roast. A comedian comes in and it's funny. Ha ha. Everybody has a good time. And Republicans whine like little bitches for days afterwards. That's just tradition. It's just tradition. Well, we've just had a bunch of cowardice that's ruined another great American tradition. The White House Correspondents Association decided no comedian. We can't do the roast part. We can't. It's too much. The Republicans get the sads. They really do. They get the sads. Then they can't handle it. It's just too much. So instead of what we get every year, which is something humorous, when a Democratic president is in office, he gets roasted. When Republican is in office, he gets roasted. It's a good time. It's a good time. But, the White House Correspondents Association bent the knee to the Republicans and said, oh, we can't do that anymore. We just can't. It just hurts their feelings too bad. We just can't. So it was a shit show. No comedian, nothing funny. And the guy that they bent the knee for knew it was going to be a shit show. So he didn't show up. After all of that, after bending over, grabbing the ankles and kiking up the skirts and allowing the Republicans to have their way, Trump didn't show up. Folks, because he's a coward. He is. He's a coward. He really is a coward. He is bombing. His approval rating is in the toilet. He is already. No, I did not. No, I did not waste my time watching it. Thank you very much, Smart 451 Cab. I did not waste my time watching it. I did not. I don't think anybody really wasted their time watching it, and that's where I'm going with this. I'm just going to sum this up. This is as far as things go in the world, not huge, but it is significant in that it shows the way the corporate media is useless shit these days. Chasseer, this here is for the swear jar before you even swear, because I like it when you swear. Thank you, my friend. There's going to be a little swearing today. There is. You know, sometimes YouTube doesn't like it. Sometimes they do. We'll see the way it goes. Are we pixelated today? Are we clear today? How are we doing on the image today? Because our main internet system that we use, they are upgrading it. That's good news. That's good news. Looks like we're going to get a faster connection out here, but while they're upgrading it and running the cable through, they keep tearing up the existing system, so it's down. So we're using our backup system. Are we good and clear? Good. Good. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Thank you, folks, for funding the backup system so that we can just keep working. Because, like I said, my main internet service provider is gone right now. Newest Bill, thank you for being here, sir. Thank you for supporting the show. And what that typically means is that when the one system we have out here that is an actual wired system goes down, everybody in this area jumps onto the cell system, which slows the cell system down. Rural Texas, folks. It just is what it is. It is what it is. So, yeah, just to finish up with the White House Correspondents' Dinner, you know, we had this. This is probably one of the greatest moments in the White House Correspondents' Dinner. It was when you had Keegan-Michael Key in character as Luther the Anger Translator back in 2015 when President Obama was president. You know, because everybody gave Obama hell for being too diplomatic. It was an amazing bit. It was classic. It will go on forever. Randy Oliver, thanks for the light. Well, I appreciate it, man. I do. I think, yeah, it's after Easter. It's warm outside. It's time to go to the straw hats, my friend. I'll still wear, it's cool enough in here. I'll still wear the felts every once in a while, but you know, it's that time of year. It's that time of year. You're not going to see me out and about in a felt hat. It's too damn hot outside. It's 90 degrees here now. In the middle afternoon, it's 90 degrees, and felt and 90 degrees don't go together too well, folks. So yeah, this is what I normally wear outside. This is what you'll probably see me in here more often than not. Ron, thanks for supporting the show. I appreciate it. I really do. But, you know, this is what we had, folks. This is what we had. But we can't have it anymore because Republicans are little bitches. Really, that is. You remember they absolutely devastated the career of Michelle Wolf when she did her joke about the smoky eye makeup. They're such petty little whiny little bastards. And then you've got, this is the state of journalism. This is the state of our news. They destroyed themselves. Their own White House Correspondents Association dinner. They destroyed that to suck up to Republicans. And they got screwed. Trump didn't even show up for him. Because folks, look, this is what I told you from the beginning. Second term, you're a lame duck. You are. You're never going to run again. It's freeing because you're never going to run again. But you're also, as soon as your honeymoon's over, that's it. You're a lame duck president. You're as weak as it gets. That's the way it works in this country. Normally, that's about 2 years into the second term, and then you're over. You're done. Trump didn't get 3 months. He didn't get 3 months because they're imbeciles. They're idiots. Because you've got Signalgate. You've got them engaging in the largest buffoonery we have ever seen. as far as national security is concerned. He's getting drug in Ukraine. He's getting just on every front. The imbeciles they appointed to do the job are imbeciles, and Trump is lazy and stupid and out golfing. So all of these imbeciles are doing what imbeciles do: fail. So he has lost his honeymoon period. 3 months, that's all he got. His approval ratings are in the shitter. They are in the toilet. It's over. It is. It's over. Project 2025 done. The judiciary standing up. That's the next story we're going to talk about. The judiciary's had enough, and oh my God, they screwed up so badly. Talk about having no self-awareness. We got the details on Judge Hannah Dugan, the judge they arrested in Wisconsin. Robin the Hood, good morning. Good to see you. Thank you for supporting the show. I appreciate you. Josh Hassinger, Trumpelthilskin destroys all norms and institutions. No integrity, no sense of humor. The dude is a walking, talking example of all 7 deadly sins. Well said, sir. Well said. And because of Republicans and the fact that, look, I am a middle-aged white guy. I can call out my own like no one else. And I can tell you, because I'm talking 60% of middle-aged white guys are thin-skinned, whiny bitches these days. We can't have nice things. We can't, because they have their feels, man. God. I just wanted to deport some brown people, that's all. Frickin' bigot bastards. So they're going to destroy everything. We can't have nice things because of these whiny little bitches. And I'm glad to see. You know what? I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see the era of the white guy is over. It is. They've ended it. No one, tell me, you walk down the street and you see a middle-aged old white guy and you don't think that guy's not dangerous. Didn't used to be that way. It used to be the era of Howard Cunningham. That's the way these bigots got away with so much shit for so long, was because everybody took a look at a middle-aged white guy and, well, that was safety and stability and security. When you looked at him, that was what you thought. Nobody thought danger. Well, if you're a member of the Black community or the Hispanic community, you probably felt a little different about that. But the rest of us white folks were like, oh no, hey. That's over. I don't know about you folks, but I see a middle-aged white guy that looks like me, and I'll be honest with you, red flags. Don't leave your children unattended. They're dangerous. And the hoods are off. The hoods are off. And I got to tell you, if your goal like mine is that we all do better when we all do better, if that is your goal, this is a good thing. It's a good thing that the hoods came off. I hate to see it. I'm a good old boy. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're trans. I don't care if you're Filipino or Mexican or Black or whatever. I just want everybody to do better, man. Everybody do better. Good job. Live the American dream. Take care of your family. Send them to college if you can work hard and do it. Nobody gets screwed at the bank because of the color of your skin. Nobody gets harassed by the cops because of the color of your skin. That's all I'm looking for, folks. It's not a big dream. It's just simple. We all do better when we all do better. And if that's your goal, well, look, the hood's coming off is a good thing. It really is, because it gets rid of that mystique that the bigots have been hiding behind forever. And there are a lot of people that will try to deny that it existed, but it existed. I mean, you saw a middle-aged white guy, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and that was the symbol for stability. That was a symbol for stability. It was a symbol for, safety and calmness, and that's over. It's over. George Allen ordered a custom pond cup. It's where I first saw you on YouTube. Glad to see you, man. Glad to see it, brother. And by the way, now that you brought up cups, I want to tell you, I listen to you folks. I do. I listen to you folks. When you ask for things, I try to do it. And a lot of people have been asking for cups that aren't quite this aggressive. And we got 3 cups that I've designed that are going to come out. Maybe a 4th one. I don't know. I'm still tweaking the design on it. Of cups that are a little less offensive, but the messages are still good. So when you email me, know that I listen to you. I do. Peter Campbell, good day to our global potheads. I'm out on the road today working and lurking. Thanks, Texas Paul. Always value this community. Thanks for being here, Peter. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for always being here. Harold Puttinson, new donor, part of our European audience. Good to see you, my friend. And I hope I got the name right. I hope Puttinson is what I'm going with. If I got it right, give me a thumbs up in the chat if you would, my friend. I appreciate you being here. New donors, make sure they keep all you new donors showing up or what tell me, yeah, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Well, look, we've got some more information on the arrest of Wisconsin Judge Hannah Dugan. I told you I wanted to wait until I got the details so we could talk about what's going on, because this is a big freaking deal, folks. This is a big freaking deal. This is Judge Hannah Dugan. She was arrested, and I want to tell you, she was just that, arrested. That is not normal. What is normal is that a judge would go to a grand jury, which they did not do. A judge just signed off on an arrest warrant. They did not go to a grand jury, and then arrested her. That is not what normally happens. This judge is not a flight risk. She's normally a judge is normally afforded courtesy, even in cases that are bad. I mean, I'm talking about a judge rapes somebody. They will let that judge surrender and go through processing. They don't go arrest them. And that is what they did here, because they wanted to make a point. They wanted to pretend they were strong, and they fucked up. They did. There is a backlash from this that they were not prepared for. And this was so stupid. So stupid. Let me give you the details on this. This is Eduardo. This is what the whole kerfuffle's about. This is about Eduardo Flores Ruiz. This is Eduardo Flores Ruiz. What happened here is Mr. Ruiz here has some roommates. They all live together. They're undocumented immigrants. And the roommates, it's pretty common. Especially if you grow up in Texas, this is really common. Undocumented immigrants will split the bills. They will go in and rent a house, and they will, you'll get 4, 5, 6 or more living in a house, splitting the bills. There are disputes sometimes. There are. They don't normally get to the point where the cops are called. This one did. What happened here is one of the roommates got pissed off because Mr. Ruiz was playing his music too loud. That's the allegation of how this started. They got into some words, shoving match, hands were thrown. No one was seriously hurt. The guy that went in to complain about the music, his wife jumped in, which again is pretty damn common in these situations. The wife will throw hands. So Ruiz is throwing hands with the guy that came in and the wife. That's all we know, because this hasn't gone to trial. This was an initial hearing about this case. The police were called. They arrested Ruiz. He wasn't charged with a felony or anything like that, because no one was significantly hurt or anything like that. The people that he had the conflict with have come out and said, no, we don't want the guy deported or anything like that. We just wanted the fight broken up and everybody just go on with their business. They were not going to pursue charges here. That's important. Okay. Vincent, sorry, end of the month, so a bitch. No, man, I appreciate you being here, brother. I appreciate you being here. Thank you. I mean, I'm grateful $5 is $5, my friend. I am grateful for it. So, thanks for being here. It's me. Thank you. I appreciate it. If you grow up in an area that has, like I did in South Texas, that it's common to have a lot of immigrants. This isn't an uncommon story. It's not. These judges have seen this before, and they know how it happens, how it works out. How it works out is no one shows up. The people that are making the allegations are also illegal immigrants. They don't want to be in the system or part of the system. No one was badly hurt. This goes away. And Judge Hannah Dugan knew that. And let's be clear about something. Hannah Dugan does not agree, Judge Dugan does not agree with what this administration is doing on the immigration front. So, this case comes to her courtroom, right? Jordan, thank you for being here. Days with Trump being a moron, 28,774 days. Yeah. Amen, brother. I hear you. I hear you. Stoneflower Dragon. Kamara Abrego Garcia's wife was forced into hiding with her children after Kristi Noem at DHS posted their address on social media for the world to see. Yeah, we talked about that before, but yeah, folks, if you're new, this really did happen. They doxed her. She is now having to live in hiding from the bigot white fucking Fox News crowd. She had to leave her own home. She's an American citizen, folks. Jeremy Breeden missed the last 2 lives because of work. Here's my cousin interval travel contribution. Thanks for bringing the fact. Thanks for being here. Always being here, Jeremy. I appreciate you. Teresa Washington. Thanks for always being here, Teresa. I appreciate you. So this is what happens, okay? They have their hearing. The judge knows this is going to go away. The judge also knows that a bunch of agents showed up to arrest the defendant in her case. This is her case, her trial, her courtroom. A judge does not have to participate in the arrest of a defendant or the accused, any witness. This is the judge's courtroom. Period. End of story. She does not agree with the current immigration policies. So she uses her authority, which she's entitled to do, because she doesn't want this guy going through an immigration hearing with assault charges that she knows are going to go away. They're going to go away. If she gets through this trial, these cases are going to go away. This is going to end up getting dismissed. No one is going to pursue the charges in this case. She doesn't want this defendant going through the immigration system with this hanging over his head. So she tells the 6 agents that showed up, because what ICE is doing now is they're using the judicial system. They're doing, with Elon Musk and Doge and all these tech heads have gotten together, and they're using computers to cross-reference anybody that goes into the criminal justice system, whether they are guilty or not. No due process. If their name comes up, and they can cross-reference and say, okay, this person's not here legally, they're arresting them at trial. That's their new gig. They're not going to allow these people to have trial. If you're accused, you're gone. And that's the important part. If you are accused, you're gone. They're going to deport you. I didn't say convicted. I didn't say you were proven to be a criminal. I didn't say anything like that. If you are accused, they're going to deport you, because they're using the Alien Enemies Act to claim that we have been somehow invaded by a foreign nation, which is the only way you can actually invoke that act. So they're trying to deport as many people as possible illegally, basically. Illegally. is what they're trying to do, with no due process, no anything, because they know they're going to lose their ass. When this goes to the Supreme Court, this shit is over. When this finally reaches the Supreme Court in a hearing, it's over. 80% of the American population does not believe the Trump administration should defy the Supreme Court. They know it's over. So they're trying to do as much damage as fast as possible. And Judge Dugan said, my courtroom, no, you're not. You want to make an arrest, you go outside. You do not do it in my courtroom. You go talk to the head judge and get his permission to make this arrest in my courtroom. I'll comply. But you go talk to the head judge. 5 of the 6 agents did just that. They went up to talk to the judge. 1 stayed behind. Guido D-Day, thank you for being here. Middle-aged West Texas, Permian Basin white guy. This is where your oil comes from, people. Not in the 60%. Let the swearing commence. I hear you, brother. This is where your Permian Basin, that's where your oil comes from, folks. Texas tea, my friend. That's where it comes from. Joseph Galati. Hi, Texas. Paul from Italy. Hey, thanks for being here, man. Italy in the house. Let's hear for Joseph Galati. Let's hear for Joseph Galati. We need more people, more voices in this room. And I want you to notice something. Joseph Galati just said that in English. Folks, stop being so about learning foreign languages. It's really freaking common and easy to do. I could take you to Italy to visit Joseph and leave you there. By the end of the day, you would have learned a few phrases to get through. By the end of the week, you would have learned 30, 40, 50 phrases to allow you to actually engage in the population. By the end of the month, you will be conversative in Italian. You'll have a really weird American accent, but you'll be conversative in Italian. Stop freaking out about foreign languages. It's not hard. It's not. Thank you for being here, my friend. I'm glad you're here. Monica Meadows, Palantir is going to be used. I would love it if in the future you could have an episode about them. We talk about Palantir a lot. Thank you, Monica Meadows. I appreciate it. And I agree with you. What I've been doing and what I like to do is I like to wait. I tell you all over and over and over again, I am not a journalist. I am a commentator. I have the utmost extreme respect for journalists. That's why I show the headlines and tell you where they're coming from so that the journalists get the credit, not me trying to. I hate that about people that do this. They try to pretend like they're super, super smart and they know everything and this. No, they don't. They don't. All they're doing is they're lifting other people's work without giving them credit. And it's bullshit. You want to love somebody, love journalists. Stop coddling stupid. They wait until we're otherwise busy to remove masks. Jokes on them. We can multitask. Amen, brother. This is a whole new thing. I'm telling you, Trump. I'm going to give him credit. He's changing America, but not the way they want it. Not the way they want it. Okay, so let's get back. I don't want to lose where we are. Okay, Ruiz is at his hearing. She's ordered the agents out of her courtroom, go talk to the head judge. 1 stays behind. Hearing's over. She tells Ruiz and his attorney, look, you can leave through my chambers. Go ahead. When Ruiz and his attorney get up and walk through chambers and go to the elevator, which is not a public area, the agent that stayed behind went with them. He got on the phone. He called the other agents. When Ruiz got outside, they arrested him, which this judge can't interfere with what goes on outside her courtroom. She cannot. That is where her domain pretty much it doesn't end. She can issue orders and stuff, but she never issued an order. And this is what's so incredibly important about this case and why they screwed up so badly. They arrested Ruiz. She did not stop them from arresting him. They didn't. They followed him into the elevator, followed him outside. That agent called the other agents. They came down and arrested him outside. So he was arrested. He is being deported. But they arrested the judge. Again, didn't charge her and allow her to surrender. They wanted to flex muscle. They wanted to say, "Ooh, we're bad. You can't do this." Huge mistake. Huge mistake, because the dispute here isn't whether they were able to arrest Ruiz. It wasn't whether this judge stopped them from arresting Ruiz. She did not. All she did was assert what every judge has, which is authority over their cases and their courtroom. And Pam Bondi, Donald Trump, and these agents, these rogue piece of shit agents, said, no, we have authority in your courtroom. And that's where they screwed up. Because the backlash is already happening. This just happened. This just happened. This is from Fox News, folks. This is from Fox. Wisconsin judge threatens courtroom boycott over Hannah Dugan arrest. Judge Monica Isham says she will not allow ICE to send illegal immigrants to concentration camps. That is not what she said, believe it or not. Fox just lied there. That was a comment that she had about the policy. She does not agree. What Judge Monica Isham, and this is Judge Monica Isham, said is, my courtroom is now closed. What you did crosses a line in the extreme. In the extreme. You abused your authority. You are now arresting judges for exercising the authority that they absolutely have in their courtroom. And if we are in danger, I will not hold another trial until I get, and this is what she said. She said, I will not hold another trial. My courtroom is now closed until the judiciary issues to me guidance explaining what my authority is. Yeah, because they picked the wrong fucking fight. They did. See, had she prevented them after they went outside to try to, if Judge Dugan had prevented them from arresting Ruiz after they went outside, oh yeah, she would have crossed the line. She has no authority to do that outside. But during her hearing on her case, she is the boss. Hence the title, Judge. She decides who gets arrested. She decides who goes to jail. She decides whether the defendant in a trial before her, because she does not serve the government. Judges do not serve the government. They judge cases without bias. That is their job. When she decided, I know this case is going to go away. I'm not going to have this defendant go through the system with this case hanging over his head. I want to try my case, which is her authority to do. The government said, no, we're going to do it our way. We're the ultimate authority. And that is where they screwed up so badly. Because I don't care what your party affiliation is. I don't care what kind of judge you are. You have half the Republicans that have said, oh, you fucked up. And the other half are like, woo, all right. Yeah, we're arresting judges. Woo. And the Republican judges are going, huh, really? No. No. That's why Judge Hannah Dugan has said, it's on, bitches. It is on. There will be no discussions to make this go away. We will have this fucking trial. We're going to do it. And Judge Dugan, she's good, man. Her background is in legal advocacy. She is sharp as can be. She knows the freaking law, man. You think these agents, these freaking Wahoo Yahoos and Pam Bondi, what did we decide on for a nickname for Pam Bondi? Do y'all remember? Do y'all remember which Barbie we named her? I don't remember if it was Dumbass Barbie or James Hutchinson. Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting the show. Do y'all remember? What did we settle on for Pam Bondi? No, that's Levitt. That's bullshit. Barbie is Levitt. Well, that's the White House spokesperson. Good guess, though. Good guess. Don't kill me. I'm justified. Paul, do Republicans not see Trump as a fascist because he gets his way? They'll be in the same horrible situation as a lot of them do. And a lot of the billionaire broligarchs are like, we fucked up. We fucked up. Oh, we thought we were going to have control. We have no freaking control. This guy's a freaking maniac. Yeah, it's happening. It is happening. Kate Marylight, it was all for show. They're going to try. The DOJ is going to try to make this go away, but there are things that a defendant can do because they have violated her rights. She's got a hold of him and she's not going to let go. They fucked up. They did. No one agrees with it. There's a core group of idiots. That Fox News article I showed you, I love to go into the comments because it tells you exactly what the idiots are going to defend themselves. What the click farms have fed into their ecosphere for them to repeat. You know, it gives you a heads up as to what that is. And they're all like, well, she should have just followed the law. She did, asshole. She did. Oh, Cletus, she followed the law. And she was well within her authority. You fucked up. Lori Yates, thank you for being here. I appreciate you, Lori. I appreciate you. I really do. That's a good one. I like that one, but that wasn't the one we came up with, but it was a good one. That was a good one. Bigot Barbie. That may have been it. That's a good one too. We'll go with that one today. I don't remember which one it is, but it was that's a good one. Bigot Barbie. Yeah, brown shirt Blondie. There you go. Brown shirt Barbie. That's another good one. Brown shirt Barbie screwed up. She did. She really did. She's very unliked. I don't know anybody that looks at her and thinks, oh, that's my people. No, no, they know. No, not at all. And yeah, the Democrats know they have something here. And I've warned folks, immigration is not the great argument, but the Democrats are learning, man. I'm so proud. I am so proud. I am so proud. They are really learning. I wonder if Trump will try to wheel out his pocket high power lawyers for this now. Nope. And I'm about to tell you why. Dollar Straws, thanks for being here. Damn, Sharon coming out. Bam, 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 bam. The big guns. Thank you, Sharon. Appreciate that. That's a huge donation, especially this time of month. I know this isn't a payday period. Stupid is as stupid it does. Thank you, Cecilia Coleman. Steve Corley, pardon me. Steve Corley in the house. Thank you for being here, brother. Thank you. But yeah, I cannot stress to you how much they screwed the pooch, because that is the argument that Democrats have come up with. They're so against due process, they're arresting judges. And they know the American people Immigration is a loser argument for us. It is. There's way too many people out there. Even the people that don't want to hurt people, they're like, well, it doesn't affect me. You know, the old Niemöller poem, I wasn't an immigrant, so I didn't speak out. You can bend it any way you want. But yeah, old Jamie Raskin, he has gone to town on this, and I am so proud of him. I've always been a huge fan of Jamie Raskin, and the Democrats are going nuts over this, rightfully so, and the Republicans are stepping in it because they are. The MAGA dumbasses on the Hill, the Marjorie Trader Greens, they're all like, woo, yeah, we arrested judges. And the average American is like, what? What? Yeah, folks, it's a big freaking deal. It is a big freaking deal, and it's a winner. That one is a winner. That is one, just like Signalgate. Nail the shit out of this. Hammer it over and over and over again because we're right. We're right. The DOJ stepping in and saying, no, we're going to run your courtroom, not you, judge. That's a loser with Republican judges. That's a loser with probably 70% of Republicans out there. But that's even before you get to the Democrats that are almost 90%. I don't know who this 10% is. It's like Trump has a 57% disapproval rating, but a 42% approval rating. Who the fuck is this 42%? I've never met them. I know there's this core of MAGA dumbasses, but who is this 42%? I mean, and I take it back. I know who they are. You ever met those people that just are so clueless? Politics never touches their lives because they have no clue that politics is always touching their lives. But they're just clueless. All they care about is 90 Day Fiance and what's going on with who got the rose this year with The Bachelor and shit like that. You've met those people. They're in that 42% because they're polled and they're like, oh yeah, I guess he's doing a good job. I don't know. I don't know. Is it football season yet? Patty R, thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the show. You people are the best, man. Andre Ordonez, fun fact about immigration judges are attorneys appointed to preside over immigration court proceedings. They're not traditional judges. Yeah, I'm telling you, and they're freaking sharp. They have been on the ground. Pound Schumann, new donor, appreciate you. Walls pointed out, if you aren't for rights for everyone, you aren't for freedom. You are for your privilege. Amen. I saw that statement. He was very eloquent in the way he delivered it. Did a good job. Glad to see Walls out there still fighting. Glad to see him still fighting. But yeah, Trump's a lame duck. He is the lamest of lame duck. He's got 2 broken wings right now, and he is desperate for a win. He's trying desperately. We talked about it in the last show. He's trying desperately for a win in Ukraine and getting handled by Putin. He's in a bad way, folks, and that's a good thing because he's a dumbass, bigot, sorry son of a bitch, and he surrounded himself with even worse people, and he's letting those worse people run our government. V-Man 29,397. If you can convince the lowest white man he's better than the best colored man, he won't notice you're picking his pocket. Hell, give him somebody to look down on, and he'll empty his pockets for you. That was President Johnson. Lyndon Baines Johnson said that, and he was absolutely right. He was explaining the politics of bigotry, and it still applies today. And one of the reasons Trump is such a lame duck is because of things like this. Actually had a MAGA piece of shit try to argue that, well, the mom wanted to take her kid with her. You're a liar. Mom wanted it. No, this is the way this stuff's going down. Well, so far they've found 4 now. It's up to 4 American children that were deported to a foreign country without any due process whatsoever. They legally have the right to re-enter this country anytime they want, because you cannot claim that they're not citizens. Period. And this is the kind of thing, the complicated things. The world's complicated, folks. It is complicated. And this is a shitty look. It is. One of these kids was a 10-year-old cancer patient. A 10-year-old cancer patient. And I wrote her name down here. Not the child. The child's only being identified as VML. She was 10 years old. She has what my mother died from. She has a cancer that metastasized to her brain. If you don't know what that means, is cancers, if you don't treat a cancer, like my mother had lung cancer, very progressive lung cancer. She had a huge portion of her lung removed, went through chemo. 10 years later, that same lung cancer metastasized. It appeared in her brain. It was lung cancer, but cancer will spread through your entire body like that. This child has metastatic cancer, and she's undergoing treatment. She's 10 years old. And this is what's so freaking gross. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you for supporting the show. This is what's so gross about this. Just absolutely gross. Her father called immigration. See, both of her parents are here. They're undocumented immigrants, but she is born here. She is an American citizen. So he called and said, look, she's going to die without treatment. It's 100% guaranteed. The cancer is metastasized to her brain. She is receiving chemo treatments. She needs her medication. She does not have her medication. You took her without her medication. I need to get her her medication. She needs to come home with me. And I want to make you famous, Melissa Harper. Don't have your image, but if I get it, I'm going to show it. Melissa Harper is the field director of the New Orleans ICE office. Melissa Harper told VML's father, well, you can come try and pick her up, but we're going to arrest you if you do. Now, I want you to let that conversation sink in. This is a 10-year-old American child, American born and raised, dying of cancer. And the father is pleading with the head of the New Orleans ICE office to let him try and save his daughter's life. And Melissa Harper said, try if you want to. We're going to arrest you. It's who these people are. It's who these people are. Jackie Reynolds, sorry, Texas Paul, I decided my continued support of ACLU needs to be increased monthly for all the litigations and wins they are scoring for democracy. What are you apologizing for? That's a good thing, man. That's a good thing. It's me. Stayed outside Dallas, didn't see one Trump flag. Yep. Phyllis Rayleigh, thank you for supporting the show. And that is why I keep telling you, Donald Trump is a lame duck with two broken limbs. And that, my friends, is the death of Project 2025, because Project 2025 can only exist if there's this air of inevitability. They're not. They're getting punched in the face by the courts every damn day. Elon Musk has run for the hills. His company is dying. He's gone from being the richest man on earth to a guy that is going to be bankrupt. The only thing keeping Tesla alive is welfare. If it wasn't for the carbon credits that we give to Elon Musk, we, the American people, you and me, give Elon Musk carbon credits for him to sell to other car manufacturers who are dirtying up, building, dirty cars. If he couldn't sell those, Tesla lost money last quarter. Yeah. Elon Musk is going to go away. He is Mike Lindell 2.0. It's over. It's all over but the crying. Kate Marylight, think ICE will dare show up to at the powwow in Albuquerque? Thousands of Native American and Indigenous people. I don't really put much beyond ICE because it is my personal opinion that ICE is filled with a bunch of fucking bigots. I think they're recruiting disgraced law enforcement. I think that when we Democrats get power and we do hold some hearings on ICE and we start investigating and taking a look at who these agents are, you're going to find out a bunch of them are fucking bigots. Polgarath, sorceress, dragon. My mother had a very aggressive cancer. We found out in March 2023. She died in April 2023. My mother would be so sad and mad this is happening. That's the thing. Everybody that's ever had a family member that hears about that conversation is going to lose their damn mind. This is indefensible. There's no way to defend this. None. Pamela Bradley, thank you for being here. I will not be surprised if that is not the truth right there. I will not be surprised if ICE isn't filled with a bunch of freaking Proud Boys and Oath Keepers and But yeah, we've got some other things going on besides the fact that Trump is the lamest of lame ducks. Some interesting stories from this is one our Canadian friends in the audience are dealing with. The Colin Wayne, thanks for supporting the show. I'm going to Rachel Maddow this, and I'm going to give you a little background information. This is a statue of Datu Lapu Lapu. And I promise you, he didn't have abs like that. I promise you, there are more. What's the word I'm looking for? Accurate. Not accurate. That's not the word I'm looking for. Culturally accurate. Culturally, that's the word I was looking for. Culturally accurate pictures of Datu Lapu Lapu. The folks that come from the region tend to have a little bit of a belly on them. Similar to Samoans tend to have a little bit, but anyways, it's a good looking statue. It's a good set, but that's not the point. That's not the point. You folks know who Ferdinand Magellan is. You've heard that name before. You may not remember what he's famous for. This is Ferdinand Magellan. Ferdinand Magellan was born into aristocracy. He was, but his parents died. He's Portuguese. His parents were Portuguese aristocracy. His parents died when he was very, very young. He became a page in the Portuguese royal house. And they cared for him, raised him, educated him, and he became a sailor, seaman, eventually captain. And he had the idea that he wanted to lead an expedition. And he wanted to be an explorer. Yeah, exactly. He wanted to be an explorer. He'd been a hard worker, served the crown. So he went to went to Lisbon, went to the royal family, the Portuguese royal family, and said, "Look, we just found out that there is this magical place called the Spice Islands, where you can get nutmeg, you can get mace, you can get cloves, but they're having to sail the long way around to get to it. I want to send an expedition to find a shorter way to get there. Will you fund it for me?" And the Portuguese aristocracy said, no, that territory is going to be taken by the Spanish. It was a Spanish explorer. It was Vasco da Gama that found it. No. And back in 1497, this is 10 years later. where he's trying to put this together. And by I think it was 1518, he finally got approval, but he ended up having to go to Seville and appeal to the Spanish aristocracy, and serve the Spanish crown for a while. And he did so with distinction and honor. And they finally promoted him to admiral, and they gave him his fleet. They gave him his fleet of 5 ships. Francis Rinaldi, thank you for being here. Hey, Texas Paul, keep doing that voodoo that you do so well. Hey, Texas Paul, keep doing that. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you for supporting the show. Louis Kilgo, it seems there was an understanding that billionaires making political donations behind the scenes didn't overtly get involved in the political process. Musk is the exception that hopefully proves the rule to the rest of them. Actually, they play politics, but they never did it so overtly. They didn't make themselves the face of it. They did. But Elon Musk is a degenerate, bigot bastard. That's my personal opinion of the man. And he wanted to push his South African bullshit. You know, you've got that whole cadre of South African billionaire shit gibbons, that are trying to push their insane, disgusting, bigoted shit on us. And he just wanted to be the face of it. And good for him. He's going to end up being Mike Lindell 2.0. Kelly Leiden, I think we called her Bimbo Barbie. Thanks, for Paul, for your delivery of the news. Corporate media is just a joke, and with the exception of Rachel Maddow and Lawrence O'Donnell, there's a couple out there in the corporate media that are still doing the work. But most of them, like I said, it's like the White House Correspondents' Dinner. They've just bent over. Dorothy Zink, how is what Trump is doing, disappearing people without due process, sending them to be tortured and killed in El Salvador, any different than what Adolf and his minions did? They're identical. A prison filled with people that didn't get to due process is what you call a concentration camp. And yes, the American people, now you and me, are funding concentration camps, and it's up to us to do the research and do the investigations, have the hearings, and hold these people accountable. So, where Magellan was trying to get to, he didn't intend to do what they ended up doing. He was trying to get to the Molucca Islands, or what they call the Spice Islands. Like I said, they had been discovered in just before 1500. They knew that all they had to do was show up, subjugate the people, have them pick spices, and you could have spices basically for free, you know, because they're going to enslave the people there. Basically for free. King of Spain, if you'll just fund me, I'll sail out there and I'll find a shorter way for you to get your spices back, and you'll make a lot of money. And because let's face it, at the time, the broligarchs of the time, there wasn't a whole lot you could do. I mean, except for maybe spice up your meat a little bit, spice up your bread a little bit. There weren't a lot of entertainment. You couldn't send your girlfriend to space. So this was a big freaking deal. Spices were huge. We've talked about the Spice Road before. The Inquisitive Prince is a former Republican converted to progressive after George W. Bush debacle. I know the Republicans. You have to fight them at every turn. Progressive are finally back. Never take your foot off the pedal. The Inquisitive Prince here every show putting that message out. Listen to the man. Listen to the man. I know a lot of people that used to be Republicans that have seen the light, and they're in the fight. Greg Edmond, Musk got addicted to drinking his own bathwater. Now he's drowning in it. I love that, man. I love that. Great way to put it. All right, let me finish. Let me land this plane. Let me finish this story. All right. This is the Molucca Islands. Go to the map. Let me explain what Magellan was supposed to do and what he ended up doing, and why this is important to our Canadian friends today. I want you to see the location. And I apologize, I didn't get the cursor changed. If you want to wait, tell me. I'll go in and change. All right, I'll do it. Y'all asked for a bigger cursor. I'm gonna do that. 1 second. All right, 1 second. Oh, let me find it. Pause. Everybody take a sip of coffee. Fill your cup. We're going to the map, and I want this to be... All right, here we go. We have a bigger, prettier mouse now. Can you see it? All right, yay! Everybody, can you see the map? Can you see the pointer now? All right. This is the Maluku Islands, known as the Spice Islands. You can get the idea of the location. Back in 1497, these islands were discovered. And they, like I said, they found out that cloves grow there, that mace grows there, that nutmeg grows there. And spices were a big frickin' deal. But I want you to take a look at how they had to get there. The Spanish who discovered it, to get here, to get these spices that they could get for free if they just came and enslaved everybody and forced them to pick their spices, had to sail across the Indian Ocean, because remember, there is no, this is 100 years before you get the Suez Canal. There's no way to go from the Red Sea to the Mediterranean back to Seville. Okay? You've got to go around the Horn of Africa, the Cape of Good Hope, which is dangerous. The farther south you go in the Indian Ocean or the Atlantic, the worse the weather gets. And these are little sailing ships at the time. So they had to sail up around Africa and then back to Spain to get all the way back to Seville. Long trip, right? So in steps Magellan. Magellan says, you know what, folks? I think there might be an easier way. I would like to go find out. It'll be worth it for you. You'll get your spices cheaper and faster. Let me sail west instead of east. And he says, I will just sail down here. And this is exactly what he did. He said, I'll sail the Atlantic. And I'll go down to South America, which has been newly discovered not that long ago, not that terribly long ago. And he sailed south. But when he got down here, this little island right here at the bottom of South America is called Fire Island, Tierra del Fuego, or Fire Island. What Magellan figured out is, I don't have to go through the Drake Passage. I mean, this is one of the worst areas for ships to go through. The weather here on a good day is horrific. It is it's just the way the weather works. There's a constant barreling wind that blows through here. The seas are huge, just huge. The swells it's terrible. And it's freezing cold. This is the Antarctic right here, folks. Literally, there's the Shetland Islands. I mean, this is the Antarctic. I mean, we're in some cold territory, man. So instead of going through the Drake Passage, he went through what is now known as the Straits of Magellan. He went through the Straits of Magellan, which is this cut through right here. And then you come out over here, and you're protected by land on both sides, right? You're protected by land on both sides. It's much safer, much calmer. And he came out the other side, hit this body of water, and he called it Mar Pacifico when he came out, because it was so calm and so beautiful. He called it the Peaceful Sea, Mar Pacifico. And that, my friends, is how the Pacific gets its name. The Pacific Ocean was named by Magellan. You got the Straits of Magellan and the Pacific Ocean. Well, he's having problems, okay? This is a long trip. much longer than they expected. You're talking about starvation. He's had mutinies. It's rough, man. It is rough. So he finally gets here to the Spice Islands. He makes it. He makes it. They're not in a hurry to leave. So he's looking around. You know, you've got the Silk Road from China. People have already figured out that you can buy silks in China, put them on ships, and ship them through the Indian Ocean, like I said, the long way back. So he says, well, look, let's not just establish colonies in the Spice Islands. Let's move up here to these islands up here near China. We'll claim this for Spain. I'll be a hero. I'll establish cities and ports. It's going to be a great thing. In steps Datu Lapu Lapu. And Datu just means chief. And he was a chieftain in the Philippines. And we said, you know what? I don't feel like being a slave. And they fought Magellan and they killed him. And that's where Magellan's trip ended. I know a lot of people are taught that Magellan circumnavigated the globe. He did not. He died in the Philippines. And every year, the Philippines celebrate Lapu Lapu and have festivals. Vancouver has a large Filipino population. About 140,000 Filipinos live in Vancouver, and they have a big party every year. Juan Sebastian Elcano, just to finish the story, Juan Sebastian Elcano, his second, took command, and they said, you know what, we're not sailing back the way we came. Screw that. We had attempted mutinies. We almost starved to death. We're going to go back the way we know to go back. And they sailed back around the Horn of Africa and back to Spain, and hence circumnavigated the globe. And everybody gives Magellan credit for that. But it was actually Elcano that finished the trip because he didn't want his men to kill him. So, yeah, big festival in Vancouver, right? Big festival in Vancouver. Should be a good thing. Good people having a good time. But of course, somebody can't just let people have a good time. Big, beautiful festival going on in Vancouver. And an insane man who the Canadians have not released his name. And I know he's insane because he drove into a crowd of people. They were cleaning up. It was pretty much well over. And to clean up, they needed to move trucks in, garbage trucks. So they took the barriers down on one end of the festival to allow traffic in as part of the cleanup. And this insane bastard decided it was time for people to die. And I believe so far the death toll is up to 10. The Canadian authorities are saying it wasn't terrorism. I don't know how they're saying that. I don't know why they're certain it's that, but they're saying the man that they arrested, 30-year-old white man they arrested, is known to them, but they won't release his name. So I don't know if his dad's a cop. I don't know what the situation is, but we're going to stay on top of it and find out exactly why this person decided that some people just celebrating a festival where a chieftain stood up to Magellan and said, we're not going to be slaves, thought that people had to die. I don't understand. I don't pretend to understand. I have no way of knowing why these people are so broken, because my mind doesn't work that way. I see, one of those founding members of the Black Eyed Peas had just been there. Old Texas Paul would have been out there just, woo, drinking that Canadian beer, man, having a good time. Eating some Filipino food. But no, we just can't do that, because the broken people among us. George Allen, I love your historical perspective. Well done, Texas. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's always neat to understand the background, where these people come from. And I wanted you to know who Lapa Lapa was, why he was celebrating. Yeah, Filipino food is good, man. Filipino food is good. And I don't understand. I don't understand, but we're going to keep an eye on this, and we're going to find out why this crazy bastard did this. And we're going to make him famous. We are infamous. What's your opinion on the Mississippi case that the RNC is pushing to the SCOTUS to throw out all mail ballots arriving after Election Day that could create dire ramifications before the midterms? It will lose, because the law is they have to be postmarked by Election Day. This is the thing we need to talk about. That is a great thing to talk about. Republicans just blatantly wanting to cheat. They don't want democracy. They're not about securing democracy. Nothing like that. The law is really simple. The ballots must be postmarked by Election Day. That's the law. Not received, because the states never mail them out in time for everybody to receive them, fill them out, and mail them all back. No. That's just Republicans trying to get as few people as possible who are now not supporting them. They know they're losing the military. They know they're losing the military vote. That used to be a steadfast Republican stronghold, and every year it's less and less and less and less. So now they're going to take away their right to vote. That's what Republicans are. Don Dorff, weekly tuition payment engrossed in Magellan history lesson. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I can't do it without you. I can't do it without you. Well, the last thing I want to talk to you about is the Pope. Not the last Pope, the next Pope. We've got a papal enclave coming up in 2 weeks. And whether you're Catholic or not, my family, I was brought up Catholic in a Catholic household. But even if you're not, there are a massive number of Catholics in this world. They affect our politics. They just do. So who ends up being Pope is important to everyone, because it makes a difference in where the church goes and what the church does. There's a lot of people out there talking about, and this happens every time there's a Pope. Is the Pope going to be American? No, no, he's not. There is not a cardinal anywhere in America that has enough support to become Pope. There just isn't. That's not going to happen. But it happens every year. The mainstream media, being clickbait dumbasses, will go out there and they throw that headline every. Oh, does Cardinal Dolan? Does Cardinal? Who? No, doesn't have the support. Nobody wants it. So let's talk about the three people that I, taking a look at this, actually believe might end up Pope. Ones I want and ones I don't. This is Matteo Zuppi, Cardinal Matteo Zuppi. He is the Archbishop of Bologna. He's Italian. This is the guy I think most likely will end up Pope. Brilliant man. He's been involved in peace negotiations in Sudan. He's been involved in peace negotiations in Ukraine. He is very well liked. He's affable. He's the right age. He is the right age. He's 69 years old. The Catholic Church very publicly has said, we don't want a young pope. We don't want a young pope because they end up staying, because you're pope for life. And if life is 50 years, you're dominating the Catholic Church for 50 years. And the Cardinal College, they don't want that. But they also don't want somebody that's too old, because, you got that whole, he's a lame duck. I mean, he's not going to be here for very long. So 69 is in that sweet spot. Not only does he have huge support, he's a centrist, he's middle of the road, but on certain issues, this is the only thing that may actually keep him out of the papacy, is he's not a hater. He believes in inclusion. He believes that middle ground between Muslims and Christians is like, hey, man, we're reading the same book with just changing out a few characters. We're reading the same book. We should get along. There shouldn't be this, oh, you're Muslim, so you're different, and this whole separation and segregation. He's also very accepting, of the Orthodox Church. He's very accepting of the LGBTQ plus community, because he preaches that Jesus didn't hate anybody. Jesus loved everybody, and so should we. This is why I'm, and I may be emotionally swayed here and giving him more of a chance than he may actually have. But he is a very, very powerful man, very well liked. He is Italian, which a huge amount of the Cardinal College, they have wanted an Italian pope again. You remember, we've had a Polish pope, we've had an Argentinian pope. They're like, wouldn't be bad to get back to an Italian pope. He's got that going for him. ET 50501 protest honor about May 1st. May Day protest, get involved, attend, phones out, no masks. If you can, also close your wallet. Amen, brother. Amen. Cecilia Coleman, have you heard of a right-wing sect of the church J.D. Vance is supposed to be a part? Yes, that's a real thing. That is a real thing, folks. I mean, the Catholic Church has these sects, and right now there's a rift in the Catholic Church. The people that in the 1960s changed the church doctrine to outlaw abortion, that are anti-birth control, that are these people, they claim to be originalists, but they're not. They're not. They've actually changed the church. That whole right-wing freako sect exists in the church, just like it exists everywhere else. And speaking of traditionalists, this is the one that this is the guy the corporate media keeps saying, oh, this is the man. This is your contender. This never happens. They always surprise us. It is a pope you never saw coming. It is always the way. It's never the guy that's the leading guy. Everybody, the corporate media gets this wrong every damn time, and they do this every damn time. They say, well, this is the guy with the most power. He's obviously going to be our next pope. And this is Cardinal Pietro Parolin. He is the Secretary of State for the Vatican. He was number 2 in the Vatican. That came out wrong. He was the second in command in the Vatican, Pietro Parolin. He is right of center. He's a conservative. He and Pope Francis were very close. They were able to work together despite some ideological differences. But he's 80 years old. He's 80. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but he's a dead man walking. Being pope is like being president. I mean, it's rough. 10 years is like 30 on the body when you become pope. The travel, there are stresses behind the scenes. Yeah, Ratzinger. I forgot to thank you for pointing that out. I forgot to mention Ratzinger. Yes, Ratzinger was German. Um, God's Rottweiler. Ratzinger was Pope Benedict. Anthony Saints. The Democrats are starting to bring the letter forward. Also, what is wrong with Trump in blue at the funeral? Did he not get that this was a funeral? He doesn't care. They're morons. They are morons. Thanks for bringing this up. We'll take a pause on the Pope thing and talk about this for a second. If you don't know, if you haven't heard, Donald Trump was the only guy that showed up in a blue suit. These things are very tightly choreographed. They put the word out. The color of the day is black. Everybody's going to wear black. Everybody wore black except for Donald Trump. Showed up in a freaking blue suit. And then, worse, during the ceremony, is the only guy that broke out his telephone and started. I mean, it was humiliating. Just humiliating. Just there is no one in the Trump regime that understands protocols, nor would respect them if they understood them. They're imbeciles and they're idiots. So our president showed up to this event that clearly had a dress code in the wrong clothes. At this point, we have a large European audience. I want to apologize again. This is not us. This is not who we are. The majority of Americans are not like this. We are not. We are respectful, decent people that have respect for you. We have respect for cultural norms. We have respect. And yes, he did. He fell asleep. He fell asleep. He fell asleep. Several people are posting it. Yeah, he did. This is not us. This is not who we are. He was elected by a minority of people that are shit people. And we know they're shit people. We own that. We do. And I am sorry. And I apologize to our Canadian friends, our European friends, our Middle Eastern friends, our African friends. I'm sorry. We're doing everything we can to fix this. This is not who we are. Linda Orndorff, Trump also went to sleep at the funeral. Yeah. Thanks, Linda. I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for supporting the show. But yeah, that happened, folks. The last person I want to talk about, he's an outsider, a long shot, but would also make a great pope, is Reinhard Marx. He's another German. I don't know if they will make another German pope. That would be two Germans, pretty damn close together. And again, you had Ratzinger, who is followed Pope John Paul, who was Polish. Then you had Ratzinger, who was German. Then you had Francis, who was Argentinian. I don't know that if they would go back to another German pope. I mean, that's taken into consideration. It really is. You have these factions within the enclave, and it really is a consideration, folks. I mean, I know we like to pretend that race and stuff doesn't fall into it, but it does. Marx is a reformer. He is. He's owned responsibility for problems within his archdiocese and the Catholic Church in Germany together, and he has not only owned it, he's corrected it. He is a reformer. He is, again, centrist, left of center, very affable man. He is the Archbishop of Munich. I would very much be happy with Reinhard Marx becoming our next pope. And he is, of all of the ones that are there, he has more chance. This is one that's being talked about a lot. Tagle, Luis Antonio Tagle, he does not have the support. He does not have the support in the papal enclave, nor does he have. It's not going to be Tagley. It's not. I will be shocked if it's Tagley. I would. I would. That is another name that they're floating around. I think just because they're trying to get diversity involved in it, but no, I don't see that coming out of the enclave. The good news is, of the folks that are, there's only one or two that I'm like, no, not him. You know what I mean? They're really old school, what everybody hated about the Catholic Church kind of cardinals. And I don't think the enclave is going to do that. I don't think they're going to go back to that. I really don't. They're not even worth mentioning, because that's not where the church is right now. It's just not. Gail Brown, now Cory Booker and Jeffries have been sitting on the Capitol steps since dawn, speaking along with others, and it's better than any church service. I'm telling you, the Democrats have learned. I'm so proud of these guys. I am so proud of these guys. I really am. They're learning to go on the offensive, folks. It took a lot. I don't know if you remember when I first got here, the Democrats were like, well, let me tell you about my policy. And my friend across the, they're learning to swing, man. Oh, I'm loving it. Loving it. We got to keep pushing. That's why our community is so important. You are doing this. Your influence is changing the face of the Democratic Party, and it is working. Mr. Knudsen, good to see you, my friend. Religious leaders, weirdos, and strange hats. Say what you want. They have power. You know me. I'm not a Christian. I'm not. But I know they've got power. And it's important who ends up in the job. Well, folks, that's what I've got for you today. I want you to enjoy your Sunday. Have a beautiful day. Just to recap, I want to stress to you again, Trump is a lame duck. He is. Now they're going to try, there's this thing, clickbaiters on the left love to run with this. Be scared. Trump's not leaving. He's going to run for a third term. You watch. And then there is Trump trying to push that story out. The reason they're trying to push that story, and they're okay pushing that story, because it's damaging to them. It hurts them. The reason they push the story, though, is to try to stave off the lame duckness. And they can't. They can't. Trump is the lamest of lame ducks. He is a lame duck with two broken wings. He is desperate. He is desperate to come up with a peace deal in Ukraine. Desperate. He really is. And he's going to make foolish, stupid mistakes because he is so desperate. He is desperate for a win on the home front. His whole immigration push that thought was going to make him a hero, people are hating it. People are hating it. They're seeing it happen. The farmers are seeing, well, you weren't supposed to deport my brown person. Duh, Cletus, you dumbass. I was supposed to have some coffee in here, a bag of coffee to show you folks. I must have left it out in the kitchen. I do apologize. There's a coffee company I wanted to draw your attention to. Good people just mailed me a bunch of coffee to try out, and it's actually pretty damn good. I'm drinking it right now. It is a little bit on the bold side. I'm not above that. I will give somebody a plug. I will. Dreggest of Dragons retail timber. So could apology tourism become a thing for America? Who dare travel abroad now? It's Coffee Bop. Sent me a couple bags of coffee, and I'm grateful. I do appreciate it. Let me pull up their website for you, because it's actually pretty damn good. It's my tastes have changed. I didn't used to like bold coffees until you folks started turning me on to all these smaller roasters around that actually do it right. Because, like, if you went to the store and you bought like a major name brand and it was a dark roast, It was horrible. It was just bitter and sour and nasty. And I hated it. Medium roast was as far as I would go because I was just buying the cheap stuff like everybody else. I'm buying what I could afford. Then you generous folks started mailing me coffee, and I discovered, oh no, I'm a dark roast guy. I really am. Because when they take the time, when they take the beans, oh my God, I just squeezed that bag and the smell. Oh, oh, I wish this was smell-o-vision. It's got a little vent in it right here. Right there. Oh, I wish y'all could smell that. Whew, it smells good. But when they take the beans and they roast them slowly, it's like caramelizing onions. You know, if you throw onions into a super hot pan and just scorch them, they taste like shit. They're bitter, they're sour, they're nasty. But if you take onions and you put them in a warm, a hot pan and slowly caramelize them, you get this sweet, super tasty. The onion flavor explodes. And it's the same thing with coffee beans, folks. If you get a roaster that takes their time and they roast them slowly, this magic caramelization happens where you get more coffee flavor. Yeah, you get a little extra touch of bitter to it. You do, because they're cooked much darker. But the flavor and I never used to, I hated dark roast because it was always just bitter and sorry. But it was just bitter and sorry and nasty. Because that's the way those big producers do it. They're doing it in bulk as fast as they can. Time is money. Time is money. But these smaller roasters are doing a great job. This is Coffee Bop, by the way. And I'm really grateful. And yes, I'm going to give you a plug. You were kind enough to send me Pete's. That's another one I love too. I love Pete's. They do an amazing job with their dark roast. Pete's is another one. But Coffee Bop was really kind enough to send me, and you're going to see, these small roasters can't sell it cheap and still make a profit. But damn, if you want something decent and good, you gotta pay for it. This is $20 bag. This is a medium roast they've got there. They've got the dark roast there. But yeah, it's really good. Try them out, folks. I'm telling you, if you're looking for something different. I do want to take a recommendation back for right now. I used to have one splurge that I would. I didn't, I was a Dunkin' Donuts. I was a Dunkin' guy. I would buy Dunkin' coffee all the time when I was buying the less expensive stuff. I would splurge because we found it on a trip. I would buy Jamaican Blue Mountain coffee. The last 2 times we ordered it, it was horrible. It was horrible. I don't know what's happened. I don't know if they've had bad growing seasons. I don't know if they changed roasters. I don't know. But I'm not recommending Jamaican Blue Mountain coffee right now. Until we get some that is not nasty, I'm not going to do it. Not going to recommend them. But yeah, Coffee Bop, this is good stuff, man. This is what I've been drinking the whole show. This is good stuff. I appreciate you guys. Good job. There are tons of small roasters out there. You turn me on to them, or they get in touch with me, send me some coffee. I will be glad to try it. If it's good, I will put the recommendation out there. If it's bad, Pete's is another one. Yeah, a lot of people mentioning Pete's. Pete's is killing it. Pete's is killing it. I haven't gotten, folks, y'all have been so generous, have sent me several different kinds of Pete's. Haven't had one that's bad yet. Really. And that's pretty rare, because if you get any roaster, they're going to have something that you don't like, But no, it's really good. I see a lot of people sending. There's one that I am checking on. Well, and I'm not going to mention them. I've got to call into their CEO. I want to clarify something before I even talk to them. But yeah, I love you folks. Thank you for being here. Thank you for always supporting the show. Coffee Bop, thanks for the coffee. I really appreciate it. I hope you're in the audience watching. I do. I hope you're in the audience watching. I will. There's nothing unethical about that. Somebody sends me something, you send me $40 worth of free coffee and I try it and I like it. I'm going to tell people I like it. You send me $40 of free coffee and it sucks ass. Sorry for you, because I'm going to tell people it sucks ass. Oh my God. Chicory is an acquired. Chicory, I'm going to tell you right now. Chicory, I've seen this mentioned before. Chicory is an acquired taste, folks. If you haven't had chicory, is a plant that, and you'll rarely see just chicory. All chick. No, they take and they blend it with coffee. If you go to Cafe Du Monde down in New Orleans, you get chicory coffee. It is an acquired taste. It is. It's not something that your average person that's new to drinking coffee picks up and says, "Oh, chicory coffee." No, it's like, whoa. I mean, but if you develop a taste where you're used to hit those bitter notes hitting you and whatnot, chicory adds a really interesting flavor to your coffee, especially if you're eating something sweet, like you're at Cafe Du Monde and you're getting those beignets, man. And I mean, they come out in the pile of powdered sugar, and the powdered sugar's all over you and everywhere. That chicory coffee is pretty damn good with beignets, man. I'm telling you. But yeah, it is an acquired taste. If you haven't done the chicory coffee, I don't want you to be disappointed. Expect something strong and be open-minded. Kopi Luwak. I have I have got to tell you, I have had exactly 1 cup of Kopi Luwak coffee. It was amazing. And yes, I knew it was cat poop coffee when I drank it. Kopi Luwak is some of the world's most expensive coffee. That's why I tell you, I have not had a lot. I've had exactly 1 cup of Kopi Luwak. It is incredibly expensive because civet. Yeah, I love you people so much. You are so smart. Um, you are so smart. Y'all know so much. And yes, it is wildly expensive. That's why I do not buy Kopi Luwak. The civets eat the coffee beans, and they eat the fruit around the coffee bean, and ingest the beans, and then they poop it out. And then people go out into the forest where the civets live, and this is why it's so freaking expensive. They go through the civet poop, and they find the beans that have been digested and gone through their digestive system. Then they take the beans out of the poop and they take them back and they clean them. But since it's been subjected to stomach acid, civet stomach acid, something chemically happens in the bean. And it adds this whole nether. I'm not going to lie. That was fucking good coffee, man. It really was. If you could get past the fact that they dug these beans out of cat poop, because this is a civet, folks. This is a civet. Let me pull you so you know what I'm talking about. Let me see if I can get one specifically from the region. And just to give you some idea, they're very proud of the fact that this is cat poop coffee. A lot of your Kopi Luwak brands, they actually have the civet right on there. They're not hiding it, folks. They're proud of it. But this is a civet. It's a jungle cat. It's part of the feline family, and they eat. You notice that the coffee bean there, it has fruit on the outside of it, and the civets live off of it. And when they do, they ingest the beans, and they will go out and they will literally finger through the poop and find the beans, and it's good if you can get past the cat poop. It's good. And if you happen to have enough money to buy it, because it is not cheap, it is expensive. Ah, Me, I think I'm going to stick with the coffee bop and the Pete's and the Kitty Town. Oh, if you're like me, yeah, I love pumpkin spice, man. I am freaking fall is my favorite time of year. It is. And the pumpkin spice just brings back good memories. It just does. The smell of it, the taste of it brings back, everybody loves to go back to your childhood when you didn't have responsibilities, you hadn't lived through anything bad. Well, nothing bad enough to scar you yet. um, and that's what pumpkin spice does for me, man. Thanksgiving was huge at my house. And it just takes me back to all of that. So yeah, I love pumpkin spice. So Kitty Town is another good one. Love you folks. If y'all find good roasters, let me know. Let me know. I'm always looking for good coffee. But anyway, I have not tried this, and uh, I haven't tried this. People rave about it. I'm not gonna lie. I've looked into it, and it looks gross. It looks like, and there's one company, I think they call it mud water or something, because it looks like mud water. And it may be the best thing. And if enough people keep trying it and saying how much they love it, I may try it one day. But I have not tried the mushroom. Some call it mushroom coffee, some call it mushroom tea. I haven't tried it yet. Calling Sarah, do you prefer whole bean or ground? Um, Whole beans. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Nothing wrong with ground coffee. Pre-ground coffee is great. But like when you buy like this is pre-ground. This is pre-ground. Oh, it smells so good. Squeeze it. Oh, it smells so good. When you buy pre-ground, that company is grinding it down to the size that they said is perfect. This is what we want you to have. When you grind your own, and I learned this on my coffee voyage. Mafro here says always grind your own. This is why. Coffee grinders are not expensive. Two, different beans from different places, different varieties, roasted differently, are going to have different flavors. Let's say you get like a dark roast and it's a little strong, a little bitter. They roasted it a bit fast. They scorched the beans or whatever. If you grind that coarse, you don't got to throw your coffee away, because grinding it coarse makes it not as strong. But if you get a coffee that you're just loving the flavor of, you grind that down to a fine powder, and oh my God, it's 5 times stronger. And you control. You can fine tune a coffee to make it exactly like you like it if you start with beans and grind it yourself. That means grinding it yourself. And sometimes there are people like Coffee Bob here, nailed it. They nailed it. Their grind is perfect for their roast. As long as their roast doesn't change, it'll be fine. So yeah, that's to answer your question. I like pre-ground coffee if they get it right. I also prefer to order beans when I order coffee myself, because then I know I control the grind and the flavor. That makes sense? Somebody said I have a nice life. Let me tell you something. I wasn't headed for a nice life. As a young man, I was a dumbass. I was an angry individual. I had a bad temper. See these scars over my eyes and stuff like that, and scars on my hands and stuff. I was a dumbass. Then I met a really good woman who was stronger than me, smarter than me, and dumb enough to marry me. She taught me about money. She taught me what it's like to have a woman punch you right in the damn face. She broke me. She did. She jumped on and broke me like a just an Arabian stallion, man. She just jumped on and broke me. Um, and I am grateful every day. So yeah, I got a nice life. I married a smart wife. Thank you for being here, folks. I hope your Sunday is looking as good as mine. It is just beautiful outside. Have a great week. Take heart in the fact that Trump is a lame duck and it's getting worse every day. We'll keep hammering it away. Let's keep growing our community. Hit the subscribe button. This is the first week ever since we started the show. We have not had YouTube. I take a look at the metrics, and every week we have had more subscribers than the week before. Last week was the first time that we were flat. We did not have more subscribers than we had the prior week. First time ever. So let's hit the subscribe button, the thumbs up button. Let's do this. I listened to what you said. There are some cups coming out. Take a look at the store. Some of you wanted some messages that were not as harsh as, say, fuck Trump. I've got those coming out. One of them is great. I love this one. Hope you have the day you voted for. I love that message. I don't know why, but I love that message. Hope you have the day you voted for. And then of course you get this one. Hope your coffee's as good as mine. Hell, I hope it's better. There's about 4 different cups coming out that have better message. I'm working on one. Maybe y'all can give me some input on it. I thought it was going to be really good. I took a leopard that was licking its chops, because the leopard eating the faces. And then I put FAFO above it, because that's what we're seeing all the time is these right wingers, these, you've got the oligarchs on Wall Street. You've got the farmers. Everybody's realizing they fucked up. And I thought that'd be a good cup. It just didn't jive when I put it together. It just didn't. I don't know. The idea in my head, great. When I put it together, not so great. So I'm still working on something like that. But anyways, love you folks. Thank you for being here. Thanks for being part of the community. Let's keep growing the community. Let's keep growing the community, because what we do is important. It is. And I appreciate you supporting me so that I can do it and enjoy some Texas cities at night.